Halo Infinite, a game that was hyped up with trailer after trailer, to end up drastically dropping player numbers after a couple of months. Released in 2021, Halo Infinite was supposed to be the definitive new storyline for Master Chief, giving us a new spin on the beloved series with open-world traversal and gameplay mechanics that would blow our minds. And then we got Craig the Brute.
I'm feeling romantical.
Next thing, we had Microsoft delaying the game from an Xbox Series release to an undetermined date and then to fall of 2021, with the multiplayer releasing a full month before the entire game's release in early access. How did the fans react to Halo Infinite? Pretty well, at first. Everyone and their long-lost friends from the Xbox 360 era booted the game up and was in total shock and awe with what the new Halo brought. Then the content drought struck. It took 343 Industries months to really start getting their now live service game running with brand new live updates. Once they did, it was too late. Most of the player base dwindled, and those that were left kept playing the game, hoping that maybe one day Halo Infinite would get better. The game wasn't inherently bad, it's just that there wasn't really anything to do. So after 2 years, many people have been asking the question, is Halo Infinite worth playing in 2023? After all, it's a Halo game at its core, with free-to-play multiplayer properly integrated with live service now and a AAA storyline ready to be purchased or downloaded for free with Xbox Game Pass. So I went ahead and jumped back into Halo Infinite, both solo and with some friends, to let you know if you need to give this game another chance. First thing we're looking at is Infinite's multiplayer. As mentioned before, the game launched with basic modes and never saw any fan favorites like Infection or any of the other classics. But now, geez, what do you want to play? You pick. This game is filled to the brim with game modes. At launch, we had 4 playlists. Looking at it today, I currently have 16 on my screen, and that's just today. With it being a live service game, we see new updates weekly and monthly. They even have limited event game modes, and featured alongside these modes, you can receive some cool rewards just playing games during the event's release. You know, like what a live service game should do. They tend to rotate over the months, and I was able to play Husky Raid and the Tenrai event. Husky Raid is a linear capture the flag mode with 2 teams of 4 pitted against each other, and the first team to get 3 flag captures wins. Oh, I am so good. Oh, dude, I'm actually cracked. It's a fan favorite from Halo 5. I don't know why they call it Husky Raid. Dude, I am actually like rock hard right now. But it's fun, and the Tenrai event was just a game mode with energy swords, sticky grenades, and grapple hooks. Stop throwing sticky grenades at me. Who are you? Get away from me, you freak. Watch this. Boom. Oh, so good at this game. I'm okay, maybe mediocre at this game. No. Both of these modes were in previous Halos, and I love that they brought them back and added some flair to them. They even used maps created by the community in Forge, which they have been doing quite frequently in all of the game modes, adding a touch of the community's input, which is incredibly refreshing to see in gaming. And there it is, finally, Infection. It's here, baby. Oh my god. Jesus Christ! Albeit this Infection is a bit different from the past Halo games, but they changed just enough to have its own style while keeping Infection at its core fun. There was a whole season dedicated to its release. Why are there so many?
Oh my god, who's stuck at the floor?
Please! Yeah, it's a good time. I played some competitive duos with my friend Hippo. These guys have no idea that we haven't played Halo in months. Oh, eliminated. Eliminated. I jumped into some SWAT for the first time since Halo Reach. Oh! How did I win that? Oh, I am a little piece of shit. I was just waiting there for him. Oh my god! Good, chill. And next thing you know, I spent all night going back and forth between game mode after game modes with my friends, just having a good time.
Job security is a lie.
What the f- What did he just say? So the game modes are back, great news, but what about the other stuff? What else is there? Let's talk progression and customization. I always had an issue with the progression in Infinite's multiplayer when it first came out, only giving a limited amount of XP to incentivize players to cash in a few hours of gameplay to then come back the next day for their dailies in order to level. For other live services that works, but for Halo, I just want to level up by simply playing the game. Let my gamer brain be a gamer brain. Give me XP so I can watch number go up and make brain feel good. They did just that. They finally updated it. You get your weekly and daily missions on top of your normal match XP and a fancy new career rank. It's the little things, but these can really make a player feel rewarded. Why they never put this into the game when it launched is beyond me. Lance Corporal 2? What do we get here? Ooh, almost at the next one. I'm guessing grade 3. How many ranks are in this game? Hold on. Ranks in Halo Infinite. What ranks do we have? We have... Are you kidding me? Where am I at? Lance Corporal Silver grade 2? Holy shit. You go from recruit and travel all the way along to hero. There are a lot of ranks, and 343 did announce that yes, you will get a cosmetic reward once you hit those higher ranks. In fact, the cosmetic reward is actually just Master Chief's armor. Some of you may say, that's it? Just a cosmetic reward? Yeah, it's just like Halo Reach when you got Inheritor rank and finally equipped the super cool skull helmet you saw some guy have months ago when he was teabagging you. I am curious though, what else should we get if we could? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, on to customization. We still have armor cores in Infinite, and while at first I didn't really enjoy this way of customizing my Spartan, they have added a lot more cores, which are just different suits with different parts, and the amount of combos to create a cool suit is more than ever. I mean, my guy is looking pretty hot right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. Look at those shoulders. Well, bam. Well, bam. You get parts by leveling up your battle passes, which you can pick and choose either one to level, which is nice, but I still don't like this system. I'm glad there's more to choose from. It's just that Halo Infinite is the first Halo game where I just wasn't obsessed with creating my own Spartan. Because in the past games, you got armor from achieving certain gameplay moments that were special to you, or you were a high enough rank to don that new armor piece that everyone was grinding for. But since Halo Infinite is a free-to-play game, microtransactions for armors, effects, and all of the other fluff just suppresses my Spartan's look. They have their cool armor because they spent real money. I have my armor because I need to pay for food. It's neat that players have a multitude of both free armor and paid for armor, but I just don't like those cores. Let me please mix and match them into just one suit. They did just announce that you can swap your helmets across different cores in the newest trailer, so at least we're on the right track. Random question, do you have a group of friends that you could play Halo with? No? Well, don't worry. Custom game modes and Forge have your back. I managed to find some wild lobbies stretching across different game modes. We had this, that. We got this, man. Oh, that. Oh, whatever this is. Dude, what the f is happening? And I can't forget about this bad boy. Holy shit. Oh my god. Let me tell you though, getting into a game sometimes doesn't work. Yep, I got that. Thanks. I don't know if it's just me, but one minute it's connecting fine and the other I can't join any lobbies for the rest of the day. But when it works... What's up, buddy? Alright, you and me, we're friends! We're friends! What are you doing? Oh, there's a cute little dachshund! Hollow puppy. Man's best friend got an upgrade. Oh. It's pretty fun. You can of course host your own lobbies, but you kinda need, people to join you. Well, it's just me here. My friends left me, so that's hard. And with Forge, I'll be honest, I'm not a very creative person when it comes to making maps. The last thing I made was in Halo Reach. I called it Bumper Cars and, well, it kinda worked. So this is a map I made when I was 12, and you come out of the little cart areas with your bumper car, and you bump people. And then there's landmines. It's alright. So I just leave Forge mode to the professionals, because they can make some serious maps. And like I mentioned before, some of these maps get included into multiplayer playlists, which is super dope. What's also dope is if you leave a like and subscribe to continue seeing more content like this. So let's see, multiplayer finally has game modes, we have ranks, customization's a bit better and might get even better, custom games in Forge are a blast when they work. Huh, all that's left is the campaign story of Halo Infinite. Because I mean, come on, Halo isn't Halo without Master Chief. I'll try my best not to show any spoilers, by the way, so don't worry about that. 343 did not hold back when making the start of this campaign.
Holy sh**.
We're going. Jesus Christ!
This is wild. Wow, that's one hell of an opening level.
It was powerful and bombastic. It put myself and my friend Slippy, who joined me on this adventure, into the shoes of Master Chief. I was impressed with how everything was laid out. It started as a traditional Halo game, pretty linear and straight to the point, and then the world opened up. What my friend and I experienced was something new with a Halo story, and it was truly special to us. I never finished the campaign when it launched, since I was waiting for co-op. It's just better in co-op.
I missed.
All right.
Oh, see, I got him this time.
The story also has these boss battles, which made me shriek and scream.
Dude, Jesus Christ!
However, as we progressed through the missions, that shock and awe of the open world we had slowly diminished. You can explore and do side activities presented to you on the map along with the main story. You don't need to do them by any means. You get rewarded with cosmetics for multiplayer and some new weapons and vehicles to use in the campaign, but at the end of the day, you can just simply go main mission to main mission and beat the entire story, then go back and finish the things you missed after. What happened to my friend Slippy and I is that the story felt really solid in the first half of the game, but as we progressed and eventually finished the story at around 12 hours, we were just left saying, that's it? We both have played all of the other Halos and most of them co-op together. I can't tell if it was nostalgia taking over, but something about this story felt off. I had a fun time with my friend. I didn't hate it by any means, it just felt okay. The gameplay rhythm felt great. The grapple hook is the best thing introduced, although I feel like by using the hook I missed a lot of things that I could have seen if I had just taken my time instead of zooming around tree to tree. Master Chief actually had some solid human emotions as we played from one story beat to another, bringing more life into the character, and there were times that the game genuinely was terrifying.
Oh God! Holy
We had some bugs, like me not being able to see my hands.
I can't see my hands.
Your hands are gone.
My hands are gone.
And the textures just not working.
Hey, what?
Okay, so it somehow got worse.
But overall, there wasn't anything too bad in terms of bugs or glitches. We just reloaded the game and it was fixed. I enjoyed the new style of the open world that allowed me to either explore or just do the missions when I wanted to. In my personal opinion, I felt that the story just dwindled towards the end and they didn't really know what to do. They just knew that they needed an ending to leave an opening for another Halo game. This game was a setup for the next installment, which is fine. I love Halo and I want more Halo, but I don't think this campaign by itself is worth $60. I'd say $40 is more than fair. Sometimes you'll even see it on sale for $30. I played it through Game Pass and that was perfect for me. The story just doesn't have enough to warrant that price. Sure, you have side missions and extra fluff as you go to the main missions, but it's just that. Fluff. Then to enhance the live service portion of Halo, they decided to continue the story of the game in the multiplayer seasons. I give the story a 7 out of 10, but again, that's just my opinion. For you, it could be completely different. Thankfully, the multiplayer is getting some content finally, and with that being free, I don't see why people shouldn't play Halo right now. You have content creators like MintBlitz making update videos with sick gameplay behind it. This dude gets multi-kills like it's nothing. 343 finally listens to their community for the most part by adding what we want into season updates and mid-season hotfixes, and possibly Firefight is coming back into Halo sometime soon, maybe with this new season 5. Because right now I feel like the one thing this game is missing is some PvE content. Yeah, you can fight bots in the arena, but Firefight would be really dope, especially if you can combine the Forge maps to be playable alongside with it. Because they did just announce that we can add AI enemies into our Forge creations, but will there be a dedicated Firefight mode? I really hope so. Halo isn't the best it's ever been by any means, but I can see some drastic improvements when you compare the launch version to today's version, and it's only getting better. There may not be any campaign DLC released in the future, and many people have been asking for a battle royale to enter the scene. I personally don't know if it needs one. Would it be fun? Sure, but if they continue on this path of adding some great updates and modes, Halo Infinite could see some resurgence in the near future. This game already has the most content when compared to the other games in the series. So that question question still remains, should you play Halo Infinite in 2023? Yeah, I'd say give it a shot, at least the multiplayer. Season 5 is looking really nice with all the new things that they are adding, and it's free. You don't lose anything from doing it. In fact, you might actually have fun in Halo again, because I know I am. You can also have more fun by watching my other videos. Okay, bye.